So one to order. Calling us to order. And looks like we have a full contingency here. So the roll call, what do other people do for roll call, Sarah Ann? Is it like,
Well, if you have her do the roll call.
I mean, we don't have to do it as official as a full council. We could just, if someone wasn't here, just note so-and-so's not here. I mean,
Okay.
we can just say, I've got it, and I'll note it down, however you
I'm
like.
here.
Okay,
Okay.
got you all.
It was a long day at work, so I'm a little punchy.
Good.
Was there anybody that had contacted you, Sarah Ann, for public comment?
No,
Seeing none. Does anybody have any revisions to the minutes from October? That's the last time we met, unfortunately.
Don't see.
So I move to approve the October 13th meeting minutes.
Or, I don't believe I was at that meeting.
I think you were.
Oh, I was.
You were.
I think that might have been the last time I was at.
That's the last one we've had.
Oh, for that meeting, for that matter, I must be right then.
Do I have a second?
Second.
There we go. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Great. Passed unanimous. We don't have any candidate interviews. We don't have any old business.
Okay.
We do have a review of committee charges and esteemed town clerk. I appreciate the packet that you provided with all the, now, can I just, do you want to tell us a little bit about it, or do you want me to ask you questions?
yes.
Okay, I'll
Wait,
follow your lead.
Okay, well, this was definitely a project. I'd say we're probably at like 95% in at least locating all the materials that I would like to have all the information together. I will say a couple of pieces of low-hanging fruit definitely jumped out at me in terms of what the committee may want to set their sights on for the next round of revisions and updates. The first, it's not in your packet because at the time I put it together, I really couldn't find anything official. And since then, I have found some official things, but they're from 1974. It's the what's referred to today as the Youth Services Advisory Board. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to ask, it sounds like they've been operating kind of a little bit more informally.
Yeah, so yes, so there was a charge developed. Let's see, the latest revision was actually 1991.
Okay.
Latest revision on record that I could find. Then there's evidence that there was a charge revision that was committee led that occurred in 2019. And according to council minutes, manager at the time, Derek Kennedy, indicated that he would be having the revised charge go to committee on committees and to the council for approval, but that did not happen. So that could be an area where we could check in with Katie Bell and get whatever the latest charge is that they've been using and get that to committee. It sounds like it's already, as of 2019, was prepared to some degree for the council to review. So be kind of good to get that over the goal line.
Thank you. For that one, I mean, certainly if they've been using the 2019 one without it having officially been passed by the town council and they just tell you that, I think that I almost want to say we should look at it first before it goes to the town council anyway. So at our next meeting, then we'll just have it then. If she could be available, that'd be helpful, just in case we had any questions.
Mhm.
And
Sam,
then-
you talking like a quick review?
Yeah, if we don't have it in our packet, it sounds like, and so what we'd be looking to do is have somebody from the committee come and tell us that this is what they'd like, or, you know, and then if we had any questions on it, we'll be able to look at that for the next meeting.
Very good.
And that, if Katie Bell is okay with it, which I think she should be, if she's got something readily available, I can even email that to all of you next week, so you have it well in advance of your meeting to be able to look at it and come up with any questions. There's no reason why that has to wait until, you know, a few days before your next meeting.
And I'm fine if she looks at it and goes, you know what, this does need revision. You know, it's been 4 years. That's fast, but you know, I wasn't here when that town well, Charlie, were you on the council when the town manager Kennedy was there?
I was off, I was on, then off, and then on.
Right. So I don't think it would hurt to tell them that they've got a chance at a bite at the apple. I really like that you included all the charges that you have, because it shows me that they're not all consistent in terms of formatting and things like that. And even if that's what we end up doing for a lot of these, because it's working great, I'm fine with that. I'm not looking to try to reinvent the wheel and add additional language or remove things. I'm not, you know, I want to talk to the experts who are, you know, the chairs or whatever of these various committees and commissions, boards, fill in the
Right.
blank.
Right.
But that's a good one. If Katie doesn't have any changes for us, then maybe we could even have a second one on next month.
That's a great idea, Sam. So another piece of low hanging fruit is the Solid Waste Advisory Committee. They actually they don't seem to have any charge at all. So they were created in 1981 as an ad hoc committee to study the recycling program.
They're
And
doing a very in-depth study.
yes, yes. And it looks like, other than some changes in the number of members, up to 9, down to 7, between 1981 and 1995, there hasn't been any development of any kind of a charge. So this could be one where, if the committee would like me to, I can go ahead and communicate to Virginia Walton, who staffs the Solid Waste Advisory Committee, that committee start to come up with a proposed charge for themselves that they can bring to you.
Too loud? Oh, I'm sorry, I can turn it down.
So if that's what you'd like me to do, let me know, and we'll have that be the next step there.
If my colleagues are comfortable with this idea, I'm envisioning us working on one and having working on one charge. I don't want to be editing 2 charges at the same time.
Yeah,
I want to be able to focus my small brain on what thing we have in front of us, and just having the next one in the queue. And if we're working on one, maybe we can tell this other committee, not this one, but another committee, just to, hey, take a look at your charge, be ready for us. We might meet with you in a couple months, just to give them some lead time. And then we can just kind of make this an every meeting kind of thing. And, I know that for some of the charges, it goes back and forth. And so we don't always end up, necessarily having another one. So that could give people enough time to do their edits. I'm certainly not trying to add too much more to your plate, Sarah Ann.
Sure. Well,
I know, I get
it'll
it.
be more for SWAC than it'll be, and for Ginny than it's going to be for me. But I'm sure it's going to take SWAC at least a couple of months to come up with a proposal. So if we bring youth service advisory board to your next meeting and maybe have SWAC ready with a proposal for the meeting after that.
Okay.
Hmm.
But if Katie does want something changed, then obviously that'll be the one we start with.
Okay, that's good.
If you could possibly put out feelers to maybe some others that you might think don't want changed,
Hmm,
because if it's, sorry, I have children. If you have anybody that's not going to want, a lot of changes or something, then maybe we can grab those. But
Okay,
base, it's showing me that I don't think that that'll be too many of them.
no.
Okay.
There was one other thing that jumped out at me. And that is the library advisory board is actually in ordinance. It was put in there when the library was created as a municipal library versus its own standalone organization. And my basic understanding from our library director in that this was common among libraries that then became municipally owned and managed, was the existing library boards were given some kind of power to sort of try to soften the blow that they were losing their complete autonomy. And so when the library was created in ordinance, the library advisory board was created as part of that ordinance. You may want to look at removing it from ordinance and amending some parts of their charge. There is one part of their charge that talks about them reviewing and approving all the financials of the library. That is absolutely not how it works anymore anyway. That hasn't been done since anyone can remember when. So that's just like one example of like a glaring inconsistency between, reality and what's written. And the other, trouble with having it in the ordinance, in an ordinance, is obviously it becomes much more cumbersome to make changes to those charges. It really doesn't need to be there.
Can we make that, would you recommend that to the town manager as an agenda topic for the town council?
Yep. Will
Well,
do.
should I also, do we know if the library would be in favor of that? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know that I'll ask that question to Leslie pointedly. I don't get the impression that her board would have a problem with it.
Yeah, and we're
The
not
charge
looking to take
of
away their
ordinance.
autonomy in the sense of, we're gonna hand them a charge.
Yeah,
Yeah. And if they're not in favor of it, maybe we can invite them to the town council meeting to discuss and answer any questions, even if they're in favor of it coming off of an ordinance and becoming just one of our things. I think it'd be useful for any town for a presentation, and maybe they can give that part of it so the other town councilors can be, not just take my word for it that, we're all set, we can do this.
right. Okay,
Does that work?
yeah, I'll put it on the radar.
Okay. So I'm gonna take the packet in, of charges and everything, and I'm gonna start organizing things in a way that I think. And then but I think for at least the next meeting or two, we're good, it sounds like.
Yep.
And how does everybody else feel?
Fine with me.
Hey, with that, I like the idea of each meeting having someone ready to go.
Yeah. And it may not always work that way because of the, pressures from those committees, that they didn't meet or, whatever. But at least if we have a plan in place, and that's some of the work that I'll do with this packet and just trying to conceptualize it for myself. And then I'll share that, obviously. Great. All right. And anything else on this, Sarah Ann?
Just that, it's a personal goal of mine to have the format of all of the charges be uniform. So it's something I had to pull myself out of the weeds because I started doing it when I was putting this packet together, and I messed with a handful of them and I had to stop. I didn't have the time to do them all, but that is definitely my intention. I would like to have a nice, neat little package of charges.
Make it orderly for people in 100 years to be able to understand it and streamline. You and I talked about this when I first came on the town council, and I'm still on board with it. So anything more that we can be doing, just let me know, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, will do. Thank you.
Sir Charlie.
I'd just like to share that very ironically, that we are on committees. I am presently at the senior center about to attend a summit on an overview of boards and committees to try to get people on.
That's great.
Myself are here, one of my RTC members, Bill Temeco's here. It looks like Paul Shuren is here, or maybe it's the chair of the zoning. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But I don't know if you can see this. That's the, oh, does that come up backwards on the screen? I don't know.
No, it's perfect.
So that's the thing. And actually this Cynthia Fanzel made this out, and there are, pages of openings that we still have to fill. Unfortunately, 3 pages.
Can we get a copy of that?
Yes, she made several. I'll see that I can get you some.
Thank you.
Yeah, because she did a lot of work on it. It's nice.
Mhm.
If need be, I can bribe you with cookies or something.
Magic bars work.
Oh, okay, good to know.
Yeah. I'm a sucker for those.
Okay.
Just full disclosure. I'll give it to you anyway, but I'll take you up on the magic bars.
Okay. I've been getting back in. I used to work at a bakery in college, and I've been getting back into it. And magic bars was one of the things we would make.
Yeah. I've been banging them out of my house.
Nice.
Okay. So where are we now?
We're now at appointments and reappointments. It looks like we have one reappointment for the Human Rights Commission. Janine Canadia as an alternate member to the full member. Sarah Ann, I'm assuming that she's willing and able to serve.
Yes.
All right, so I'd like to move to reappoint Janine Canadia from an alternate member to a full member on the Human Rights Commission for a term ending July 1st, 2024.
Dr. Cotton, did you want to second that?
Second.
There you go.
Any discussion?
None whatsoever.
All right, all those in favor, say aye.
Hi.
It's unanimous.
Outstanding.
Looks like we have no appointments, and that just leaves one last thing on the agenda.
Motion for adjournment?
Seconded.
My famous.
You
All
beat
right,
me
Sam,
to
I'll
it.
get you some copies. And Dr. Cotton, you'd like one as well?
Yes, please. I'd appreciate it.